What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to take a little bit of a look at a brand new trading card game which is going to be launching later this year. Now, it is based on My Hero Academia or Academia. I'm not entirely sure the pronunciation on that one. My apologies. And this is kind of a big deal, and if you've heard about this game, I mean, firstly, why didn't you tell me about it? Now, to be fair, I've been hearing rumblings for a while now. I just have some information I can finally share. But it turns out that I kind of like card games. Like, I covered Transformers the moment that was essentially revealed. And then Keyforge, which I know isn't really a TCG, but come on, it kind of is. And, of course, I've been covering the Digimon trading card game a lot since that came out. So with a new trading card game coming down the line, I figured, well, this seems like the kind of thing I should be having a good old look at. Now, it is launching this year, but honestly, the amount of information we currently have about it is, to be a little bit blunt, it's sparse, ladies and gentlemen. But I do have news about the first 3 products which are going to be available. So, you know, that's a good start, right? Now, it is interesting to note this is not the first time My Hero Academia has actually made it into a card game. There was a card game that was made by, I want to say Shinobi. I think that was the makers. That did actually come around in 2018. That one, I'm not entirely sure what happened to it. What I can tell you is it's not one that's come across my radar, so I don't think it's one which is absolutely blown up. Now, this is actually being made by Jasco Games, and some of you might recognize the name Jasco Games because actually, this is not the first time that they have made a collectible card game. For many years now, they have actually been making their Versus series, and this is kind of an interesting one to me, because of course, we've seen that has included Mortal Kombat. Yes, clearly I have some regrets that I didn't buy into that one when I had the opportunity. I know, I'm sorry. More recently, it featured Soulcalibur 6, which it turns out I'm not too late to get in on, so maybe that's something I need to have a go at. So they've got some kind of pedigree, but I think it's fair to say, and I don't think I'm being rude when I say this, they have not set the world on fire. These have not been card games which have absolutely crushed in terms of sales and popularity. They have done fine. They've got a nice niche following, but if you compare them to even something like Digimon, they have not made the splash that Digimon did, although I have heard very good things, and though I missed out on the Mortal Kombat set, I've apparently not missed out on the Soulcalibur set. This seems like a job for me. Now, what I find extremely interesting here, and I've not been able to find a really clear answer online, is exactly how much of this is its own game and how much of this is really just an addition to what we've seen before from Jasco Games. Now, it is listed as a Universes card game, but if we look at something like Soulcalibur, Soulcalibur is literally listed as UFS, that's a Universal Fighting System, where they've been doing it all up to now. It is listed as UFS Set 34. So it would seem like, and I could be wrong about this, but it would seem like this is kind of a soft reboot of the brand. Now, obviously, if you're looking to get into Soulcalibur, then you go like, yeah, Soulcalibur, oh, it's set 34. Set 34 is very intimidating, to be perfectly blunt with you. It's not the kind of thing that most people are going to want to use as an entry point. So they changed the name from UFS to Universes, which of course is a brilliant play on words, because you've got Uni-verses, as in versus I'm going to fight you, and also universes, as in lots of different worlds in which these characters run around. So I very much appreciate the wordplay going on there. What is interesting is if I go to the Soulcalibur 6 page, I can just download the rulebook. The UFS starter deck rules are there and completely ready to go. But if I go to the My Hero Academia page, it says that the rulebook is coming soon. Please come and check again. Now, I have seen, and this was on a Reddit thread, so take it with a pinch of salt, but apparently Jasco have announced plans to support a My Hero Academia only format. So whereas the game is deliberately designed, UFS at least, to essentially go side by side with any of the properties, fighting Mortal Kombat against Soulcalibur and all of that, it seems like Jasco Games are willing to actually play this as its own card game. And to be honest with you, that might be why they're using different wording. Now, if we look very carefully on the product sales page, it does actually say UFS next to the products there. Doesn't say UFS on the products, it says Universes. And the rulebook isn't available to download, which if it was just UFS, you would imagine it would be. So this is rather interesting indeed. It seems like a little bit more than a standard new UFS set, so to speak. Although, like I've said, I have found posts where people are claiming that Universes is just essentially a rebranding of UFS, and these sets will be cross-compatible. But like I've said, the reason it is worth having a look at My Hero Academia here is because Jasco Games are willing to essentially play it as its own thing, which sounds like an awful lot of fun. So there is a little bit of a blurb here from Jasco Games. They describe it like this. In a world populated with superheroes, few are able to make it to the ranks of pro hero. We would like to welcome you to UA High. Here we will be preparing you to beat power-hungry villains who threaten the peace of our country and world. We urge you to brace yourselves. Each day your quirks will be put to the test. You'll learn who you truly are and through your experiences learn what it takes to be a hero. You will develop your own skills and come up with your hero aliases. The League of Villains is on the rise and we cannot let them wreak havoc on the citizens. Let's do everything we can to stop them, and let's do it plus ultra. Now, one of the big questions here, of course, is how popular is My Hero Academia? Is it on the same level as something like, for instance, Digimon, which has proven to be a very successful card game? And I'm not entirely sure that it is. I am aware that it's a popular anime. I am aware that it is fully mainstream. I am aware that several of you watching this really like it. That is not what I'm saying. What I am doing is comparing it to Digimon, a license which has been around for a couple of decades, and although wax and waning has been very strong during that time, and saying that I don't think it's on the same level, and I don't see that as an insult. I see that as a fair description, given the properties, quite frankly. So there are some questions up in the air as to exactly how different this is going to be from UFS as it has been in the past, and as to how differently Jasco is going to treat it. Obviously, one would imagine that if it is going to sell well enough, they would be willing to spin it off into its own thing. But everything that I'm reading from various places is telling me that it is compatible with UFS. I am just super confused as to why the rulebook isn't available, although maybe it is just as simple as they are making small tweaks to it. But it certainly seems to be, yes, it's connected to UFS, yes, it is compatible with the previous sets, but Jasco are willing to, at least to some degree, treat it as its own thing. Now, in terms of products, there are 3 which are currently going to be available. There is the Booster Box. Now, this is, well, there are 24 booster packs of 10 cards each, and you will need at least one My Hero Academia rival deck to use the cards within. The other things that are available are the 2-player rival deck and the deck loadable content. Yes, they actually called it that. So the 2-player rival decks feature Izuku Midoriya and Katsuki Bakugo, and they face off in this 104-card beginner set for the collectible card game. Each 51-card deck is ready to play out of the box and can be expanded with cards from booster packs. We then have the deck loadable content wave 1, and this features 20 foil cards, but this seems to be a set product, i.e. you can buy as many as you like. All you're going to do is get more copies of the same cards, which you might not want to do over and over again, I think is fair to say. Now, these are going to be retailing in the UK for £30 for both the 2-player rival deck or the deck loadable content. So if you're into them, go for it. Over on the Jasco website, incidentally, they have also gone and listed free playmats. So again, if you specifically want playmats for them, that would be something you could go and do. I don't know how excited I am about this. I like new card games, but I'm not really a fan of My Hero Academia. I'm not saying it's bad, I've just never watched it. And also, like I've said, there are real questions as to whether this is just another set in UFS or whether it wants to be its own thing. And from everything I've been reading around, it doesn't seem particularly clear. It seems like, and do correct me in the comment section if I think I'm wrong about this, but it seems very much like it is just a new set of universes, but if it does well, Jasco are willing to spin it off. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's something I've had a couple of questions about here and there, so I thought it would be time to have a bit of a chat about it. The game is going to be launching in the not too distant future, and it is confirmed that it is going to be coming out in Europe as well as just in the US, etc. So frankly, I remain a little bit excited. But I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about a bunch of card games, basically whatever takes my fancy. And do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.